Hello, hello, super leaders. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Are we excited? And I only have one question for you. Who is ready to fly? Or maybe even better, not who is ready to fly, who is ready to cruise? Who is ready to cruise on that amazing cruise ship? Who is ready to rock the boat? I hope we are all ready for the meeting. I hope we are all hearing me loud and clear. And I just want to see where everybody is tuned in from. Do we have anybody who is still in Bali? If you're still in Bali, I have bad news for you. Krishna is back home. Rockip is back home. Every top leader is back home. What the hell are you still doing in Bali? I hope you're back in your countries. Fantastic. Ready for the new incentive, ready for Ego Manager. And oh yes, now I'm happy that everybody's back home. Anybody who is not back home, so that we've tried to find a way to make you panic so that you can fly back home ASAP. So I am definitely very, very excited and honored and happy and simply blown away with what Forever has decided to do for us. I mean, honestly, guys, if I am to speak deeply, deeply from my heart, when I look at this Ego Manager retreat that's coming ahead of us, one thing that I feel is it's giving us an opportunity to be a transforming event for all of us. And I'm not just talking about what it will make, I mean, how it's going to change your life while you're qualifying for this Ego Manager retreat. But guys, let's try to think ahead a little bit. Let's try to imagine what will happen if you will be on that cruise. Just try to figure that out. I mean, what kind of message are you going to send to your team? What kind of message are you going to send to your prospects? What kind of message are you going to send to your haters? Because there are some who are hating on you. Trust me on that. There are some who cannot wait to see you fail, who cannot wait to, confirm, there are those jokes all over of people who are doing network marketing. You know that joke of someone who has got very seriously worn out shoes. It's like the sole of the shoe is halfway. And the joke is about just look for two and get two and get two. It's about time we show them that we are in a company that will give you a lifestyle that is next to none. A lifestyle that if you are not in Forever, these are probably not even your dreams. Because I mean, who here can tell me before they joined Forever, they had dreams about going for a cruise? Who here can tell me? I don't know. I didn't have such dreams. I never even knew there's something called like a cruise ship. Who here can raise their hand and say they knew there's a seat called Dubrovnik? I mean, when Forever announced that we are taking the cruise and we're going to go to Venice, Venice at least is famous to most people. But when they say Dubrovnik, we're like, what is that? Where is that city? Zadar, where is that city? I mean, Forever is truly giving us an opportunity, not just to get our dreams, but it's giving us an opportunity to enlarge in our dreams. It's giving us an opportunity to experience what we perhaps did not even know that is possible for all of us. Now, I'm seeing we are about 98 managers here tuned in, 99. And maybe as we go on, okay, now we're on 102. Maybe we're going to be a lot more than 100. And I only have one question, guys. I only have one question. Can you imagine if each and every one of you makes it to the box? Can you imagine if you qualify for Ego Manager this year? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine 100 of us in some airport somewhere in your country being flown all the way? I don't know if we're going to start with Venice. And then you get to that country, you enjoy that country. If you're going to go to Venice, I mean, you're going to enjoy the food there. And then you get on that cruise. Can you imagine if each and every one of us, over 100 of us, make it for the Ego Manager retreat? Can you imagine that? And when you are imagining that, I want you to think about the ripple effect that such a trip can bring to our business. Because, I mean, let's face some reality here, guys. We are in an attraction business, and people get attracted to our business based on how we are living our life. And people get attracted to join us looking at what we benefit. And I remember when during the Corona time, when we could not travel, and when the Corona was out, and then we started traveling again, when we started posting photos of our traveling, you know, I had a couple of people that started to inbox me, not wanting to join or anything. No, these are people that are probably, I don't know when they're going to join, if at all they will, but they started inboxing me like, you know what, Enos, I'm not in forever. I probably will never be in forever, but dang, those trips, guys, those trips that forever are taking you guys, those are the ones that make me say, you guys are experiencing a life next to none. So how sad will it be if you are not there? I mean, how sad will it be? There was a short video clip that I posted on my Insta story, and it talked about what did it say? You're making an ethical crime. You're making an ethical crime, that if you have potential and you're not using your potential, that is a crime. That is a crime. And it's a crime that is hurting the people that you love. It's a crime that is hurting everybody around you by simply you not going for your potential, by simply you not pushing to the best of your abilities. And imagine, guys, it's already the 9th today, by the way. I want to remind you, it's already 9 days already gone out of Ego Manager. So we are not left with 12 months. No, we are now left with 11 months and 21 days. And there's only one question. What is it that you want to do in those 11 months? And if I look at this Ego Manager retreat, this particular Ego Manager retreat, if you ask me, maybe we didn't have to launch it. I mean, the retreat itself is enough to motivate anybody here. The retreat itself is enough to push you. Let alone all the other benefits that you're going to get on the process of you becoming an Ego Manager, the personal development you'll get, the perseverance muscle that you're going to build, because on that process you will need to persevere. I mean, the knowledge that you'll be required to get during that process, the money you're going to make, the people you're going to touch their lives. I mean, all of those put together, and then icing on the cake, we are getting this cruise. I mean, look at all of that and tell me, do we still need any motivation, guys? Do we still need any motivation? Now, I felt we still need to kind of officially, you know, tell everybody that this incentive has officially begun, because I know even egos need a push. Even egos need a push. And all of us here are egos. And all of us here are on the way to achieve the Ego Manager retreat. And I want to encourage each and every one here. And I'm so happy that today we'll get an opportunity to hear from one amazing lady. She's very new in the business. If my memory is super correct, she joined in 2021. We'll get to hear from her. And you know what's amazing? When the last year Ego Manager was beginning, in May last year, she was an assistant supervisor, a supervisor, May last year. May last year, she did 8 CCs, 8 guys, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 CCs. And you know what? She smashed Ego Manager, and you'll get to hear from her. And why did I give you a glimpse of that? Because I want to remind you that it is possible for you as well. I don't want you to go on this meeting listening, doubting yourself. Okay, I can say it's okay if you doubt yourself a little bit. I mean, it's even a little bit helpful if you doubt yourself. Don't be too confident as well. But the most important thing that I want to encourage you, and I want to remind you, and I really, really want to, you know, put it in your mind and in your heart, is that it is possible. It is possible. You can achieve this, regardless of where you are right now. And all it starts with is you making the decision. All it starts with is you saying, I am going to work on this. I am going to make it happen. I am going to do it. And I want to tell you, if I say you can do this, you can do it, you can achieve this, ego manager, I want you to understand you are very important on making sure that the ego manager works for you, on making sure that you qualify for the ego manager. And if you look at those words that I've put there, you can do it. You realize the do part, I've put it big. Why? Because that's the most important thing. That is the most important thing. It's okay. How many people can qualify for ego manager, but sadly they will not? So many. How many people could have qualified for ego manager last year, but they did not? So many. How many of you listening right now, you have the potential, you can do it, but you won't do it? The most important thing is to remember that in order for you to qualify, you need to focus on the doing. Now, what do I mean when I say that? I feel for you to be an ego manager, it starts in the mind, but it should never end there. Don't let it end there, champion. Don't let it end there, leader. Don't let it end at you thinking and believing and being excited with achieving ego manager and saying, I'm going to make it happen, and saying, there's no way this one is gonna pass me by, and saying there's no way I'm gonna let my team down. There's no way I'm gonna let my country down. There's no way I'm gonna let my family down. It doesn't end there. It has to go to the doing part. It has to go to the activity. As if you ask me, I would say better the person who does more and talk less than the person who will talk about it more and does less. Better the person that does more activities, that is right now already game on, panic mode, button pressed, reset mode, pushing activities, not overthinking, getting into activity mode right now. Over 1 week has passed already. And one thing that I know, there could be a number of us here listening, and we haven't quite done much on this first week. And if you want to know if that is true or false, just check your system. How many CCs do you have in? How many activities have you done? How much activities have you done so far? How many meetings? How many one-to-ones? I had a meeting last week, and I talked about how to grow your business. And one of the things that I mentioned is about you creating or making a new commitment. And you need to tell yourself, what will be my new commitment going forward? What will be my new commitment? What is it that I'm going to push myself a little bit more? Because it has to be more about the doing than the thinking and the believing and the hoping and the looking at the, you can put up a very good, nice plan on how many CCs you want to do every month until you finish your ego. You can put up a very nice plan on how you're going to be prospecting. You can put up a very nice plan on how many meetings you are intending to do. But all those plans, they're important and they're a starting point, but they mean nothing if it won't go into the doing. So if there's one thing, my leader, that I want to really remind you is for you to achieve ego manager, it has to be the doing more than the not doing. It has to be actions more. It has to be meeting new people more. It has to be calling your downlines more. It has to be reaching out to people more. I mean, in a day, what you should really, really be mindful of is how much of your time have you spent talking to people? How much of your time have you spent talking to people, even if it means people that are in your team? Crucial, vital, really, really focus on the doing. How much are you doing? How much activities are you putting in? As if I am to advise my leaders, if I'm to advise, because you know what, let me tell you something, guys. I don't like, if I look at our personal business, and when I say our personal business, I mean me and my wife. If I look at our Tanzania business, I'll tell you bluntly right now, I don't like where it is right now. I don't like it at all. I don't like how the past 4 months have been. I don't like them at all. And you know what? I've made a commitment that I'm going to change that. I've taken the responsibility for everything that has not happened. And I've put my leg down and I've said, I'm going to change that. I'm going to play my part. I'm going to go an extra mile. I'm going to do more activities. I'm going to think less. Sometimes even on, let's talk about social media. Let's talk about the simplest thing like social media. I mean, how many times do you commit yourself to saying, I'm going to post every day, and you don't? And one of the reasons why you don't is because you want to post something perfect, maybe. One of the reasons you don't is because you're thinking it's about one amazing post. No, it's about the combination of everything that you're doing. The same way in your business, amazing people. Look at the new commitments that you have decided for yourself. Look at the things that you have said to yourself that this is what I'm going to be doing. And then really, really start to do them. Really start working on them. And I don't even want to lecture anybody here on what you should do in order for you to achieve Ego Manager. Because deep down, what I believe deep down, we all know what we need to do. We all know, guys. We all know what we need to do. And as they say in Forever, your biggest success will come not from doing what you're told to do. No, it's simply from doing what you have told yourself to do. The resolutions that you've set for yourself. If you are in Bali, if you were at the global rally, by the way, can I see on the chat there anybody that was in Bali? Because Bali was simply amazing, beautiful place. I mean, there are resolutions that you had set for yourself. When Honami was speaking and she talked about how she was kind of depressed. Can you imagine? Someone that has done 7,500 cc by September is kind of depressed, not very happy with where she is. And you know what's the crazy thing? When she got an uplift, she moved from 7,500 in September to 25,000 cc's by December. Can you imagine that? 4 times more, almost 4 times more. What she did in 9 months, she did it in 3 months. Can you imagine that? Now, why am I saying all of that? I just want to remind you, everything is possible. And it takes you making that decision that I'm going to go for Ego Manager Retreat. I'm not going to allow my past failures, my past performance, my past mistakes. I'm not going to allow them to drag me backwards, to pull me back and not believing that I can smash this Ego Manager Retreat, because it is possible. And the moment you say, I'm going for it, I recorded a video, kind of long, like 8 minutes. I'm going to post it later on my Instagram. And I was talking about how we are the misconception that you have to believe in yourself in order for you to do something. You know what? You don't need to wait until when you can believe in yourself. I can say we have been lied to that you need to believe in yourself before you can do something. Let me assure you, my friend, I mean, there are very few successful people that today they can stand up and say they believed in what they were doing when they got started. No, the belief will kick in when you are in the actions. The belief will kick in when you are making the steps. And so many times we tend to wait until when we can believe for us to get started. No, you need to start working on Ego Manager. And when you are making those steps, then you will believe. It doesn't matter if right now you believe you will make it or not. I can assure you, there are people that last year, a time like this last year, they totally believed they're going to smash Ego Manager and they will be in Pattaya. And now they know they're not going to be in Pattaya. It's not about the belief. And there are people that maybe Ego Manager was not even crossing their mind. They did not even believe. They did not even think about it. But guess what? They cannot wait for September because they've qualified. They're going to be going to Pattaya. It's not about the belief. It's about the actions. So whether you believe or not, just do it. You want to organize a meeting. Don't wait until when you feel your team will show up. Just do it. You want to go somewhere and prospect. Just go out there and prospect. Don't wait until when you're sure. Do not wait. Do not wait for belief. Belief will come as you're doing the business. And I want to also do a quick advice on something that I believe is important. Find what works best for you. We are all different, guys. Yes, we know there are some, I can say almost some ground rules when it comes to success, when it comes to achieving your goal. There's some ground rules. We understand that, but find what works best for you. But when you're finding what works best for you, don't forget the principles. Number one, ask yourself, what do I need to do in order to start working on my ego manager right away? Now, to some people, in order for them to start working on ego manager right away, they need to first draw a full plan until the end of the year, put it in Excel, put nice colors, and they need to do that before they can start working on ego manager. If that's what works for you, do it fast. Do it fast, my friend. Get done with that Excel tonight so that you can get to work. To some people, thinking about the whole year, it cripples their mind, it overwhelms them, and they feel like, no, I don't want to think about even 3 months down the line. For me, if I want to start working on it right now, I just need to know what is it I need to focus on this month, and I'm just going to focus on that. Find whatever that works for you and start it. Start right away. Because the most important thing is for you to start working on ego manager like right away, immediately, because the clock is ticking, guys. The clock is ticking like super, super fast. The clock is ticking. So start fast. Another important thing, I want you to think, what will help you to refocus? Why do I say refocus? At the beginning, we can be super focused. And when I was thinking about this launch, I said, okay, how long should this meeting be? And one thing that I realized, this meeting can be 4 hours, 3 hours, but whatever that we're going to do in those 3-4 hours would have disappeared within a week or two. And if the meeting is 1 hour, the same. So the most important thing is for you to ask yourself as a leader, what is it that you need to do in order for you to refocus? Veronica shared an Instagram page about experiences on a cruise ship. And for some people might look at that and say, no, I don't just want to think about the cruise ship. I want to think about the money that I'm going to make. If that is what will get you to refocus, then think about it. Then surround yourself with the money that you're going to make so that you can refocus. If you're looking at what's going to happen on that cruise ship, if that's what's going to get you to refocus, then please go follow that page. Look at that page every morning. Look at that page every evening. Do that so that you can refocus. If you can do that every morning, every evening, we understand. Whenever you feel like you are in doubt, whenever you feel like you are losing it, whenever you feel like I'm about to give up, go and look at it so that you can be able to refocus. For some people, in order for them to refocus, they need an accountability partner. They need an accountability partner. They need someone else to kind of get them back on track. They need someone else to kind of remind them. They need someone else to kind of make them, to be on their toes at all times. If that's you, find that accountability partner. I'm sure you'll get one. Come to me. I can be your accountability partner. Go for anybody that you feel like, I want this person to be my accountability partner. Find that works for you in order for you to remain focused. To some people, an accountability partner does not work for them. If it doesn't work for you, don't go for it. Find what works best for you. But most importantly, you must be refocusing. You must refocus because, right now it's just 9 days that have passed on Ego Manager and the feelings are still fresh, the belief and the excitement and the energy. We can see the bots right in front of our eyes, we can feel it. But can you imagine by September this year, those feelings might have faded away unless you have put a plan in order for you to refocus. And if I am to advise you, don't wait until when you're like very, very low and trying to bring yourself back up. No, put a plan which will enable you to be on the high throughout, guys. You only have 52 weeks to focus, just 52 weeks to focus. And let me assure you, there will be moments where you will be getting out of focus all the time. But if you put a plan for you to be refocused, I can definitely assure you, you're going to smash this. And if I am to advise again, go for a weekly refocus, at least a weekly refocus. If you want to do something to refocus you every day, fantastic. Every month, I don't know, but it's okay. But if you can do something every week, and you know, they say whatever it is that you want to improve, you need to track it. You need to track it. So if you know for you to smash Ego Manager, you need to up your recruiting game, then you need to track your recruiting. If you know, in order for you to achieve Ego Manager, you need to make sure your managers are achieving, you need to track them as well. Refocus on weekly basis. And I know that can be a little bit tiring. I know, especially at the beginning, that can be a little bit uncomfortable. It can be a little bit discouraging, I can say, because if you haven't been on high activities for the past maybe 3, 4, 6 months, if you start activities now, your first week, you only have 2 CCs in your system. I mean, that's not even nice to look at. Your second week, maybe you've only added 2 more CCs, and you are looking at those CCs and you feel discouraged and you feel like, oh my gosh, am I really going to make it to Ego? Should I even be checking my system? No, whatever it is that you want to improve, you need to track it. And when you're tracking it for the sake of you noticing on your progress, noticing on where you are going, not just noticing on where you are, where you are going. You might be on 2 CCs right now, but maybe last month you were on 1.5 CCs by this date. So find what works best for you and do it. But the most important thing is make sure you start working on your Ego Manager very, very fast. When Philip Rita was training in Bali, and he was talking about incentives, he was talking about Ego Manager, and he said, one big advice he can give us is start working on it from the beginning. Can you imagine? I know it's simple. It looks like, and also, of course, obviously, we should work on it from the beginning. But let me tell you, very few people work on it from the beginning. Everybody is excited at the beginning. Everybody is positive on achieving it at the beginning, but very few are working on it from the beginning. So let us work on Ego Manager from the beginning, guys. And the key word there is work. Work on Ego Manager. You know, you should analyze your activities deeply, my leaders. Honestly, when I was thinking about this Ego Manager retreat, the only thing that's in my heart right now is not so much on we need to hype each other a lot about going for Ego Manager retreat. I kind of feel like the cruise ship does that for us. I mean, it doesn't even need a lot of selling. But what we need is a reminder on what it takes to actually achieve Ego Manager, on what it takes for us to make sure that out of all of us here, we are 200 managers right now, guys. And this is not even the whole of Africa. And you know, we don't even get 200 egos in the whole of Africa. Can you imagine if we actually smash Ego Manager, guys? I'm 100% sure we are all going to benefit, but we also going to create a ripple effect. And I want to talk in closing before I bring our guest speaker about the concept of building and pushing. This is something that I got from my wife on one of the meetings, and I really love the concept because it really captured, you know, what we really need to be doing. A good balancing of your business between building and pushing. And what do I mean by that? When it comes to building, it's about you looking at the structure. When it comes to building, it's about you looking at developing your business. And when we talk about developing your business in Forever, we are talking about developing people that are in your business. Let me say that again, amazing leaders. When we talk about developing your business in Forever, we are talking about developing people that are in your business. And when we talk about developing people that are in your business, it means taking preferred customers to assistant supervisors, tracking how many assistant supervisors do I have in my team that are developing into being active assistant supervisors? How many assistant supervisors are going to supervisor? How many managers are being created in my team? If I have managers in my team, I know some of you have got a lot of managers in your team. If you have managers in your team, when we talk about developing your business, it goes into How are your managers growing? How many of your managers that did 300 cc's last year are going for 500 cc's last year? How many that did 1,000 last year are going for 1,500? Do you have managers in your team right now that are going for Kaplan, that are going for Forever to Drive? By the way, off point so that I don't forget it. If you are not going for chairman's bonus this year, and if you want a goal, that can really push you, then go for Forever to Drive. Go for Forever to Drive this year. That will really push you. Looking for those 150 cc. So the question that I want you to think about, if you have a team of leaders already, do you have managers in your team that are striving to go for Forever to Drive? Because that is developing, that is building, because somewhere along the way, you will have very strong legs. And we see it happening. We see it happening in the world of Forever. We see leaders that do massive CCs, but maybe they don't get a very big chairman's bonus check. I know most of us right now, we don't know how much they got, how much people got, but we know who is number one and who is number two and who is number three. And sometimes when you look at the top three, and if you go and look at the top FBOs, you might be surprised that the number three maybe earner of chairman's bonus, or the number two earner of chairman's bonus is number 10 or is number 7 among the top FBOs. Why? Because that earner, that top CBQ earner was building people. So I wanted to make that point, because as you are working on your business, we ought to always be thinking about how are we developing people in our business? How are we developing people in our business? Now, let's talk about pushing. Now, when you talk about pushing, it means it's period. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the CCs. That's like final, that I've planned to do 12 CCs this month. I must get those 12 CCs. If I plan to do 12 CCs and I said out of those 12, I will do 6 and my team will do 6. If my team has only ended at 2, then I need to push to get to 10 so that I can hit the number 12. And some of you might say, but Enos, how is that going to help me grow my business? No, you're missing the whole point. In order for you to grow, you need to achieve the stepping stone goals. So the volume goals that you set for yourself, if you're not smashing those volume goals, how in the world can you go up? Can you build your business? So we need a good balance. But here's the thing, your business should not be all about pushing volume, especially when you're going for incentives. I'll give you a kind of a warning. One of the reasons why we've also lost so many good managers in Forever is because of incentives. One of the reasons where we've lost amazing leaders in Forever is because of incentives. And why? Because of the way they wanted to qualify for the incentives. When they were pushing for the incentives, they did it the wrong way. And because they did it the wrong way, they qualified for the incentives, and they actually ended up with a business that is not worth the incentive. They ended up with almost no business. And after that, it turned into frustration. So when you're pushing, be mindful. When you're pushing for the volume, be mindful. Balance it well with the building. Balance it well with the building. But also, don't be a casual manager who is just relaxed and saying, I'm building, and we never see you pushing. Hey, my friend, there is no way you're going to grow without pushing. There is no way you'll get to a point whereby you've got your structure done and things just happen. There will always be an element of pushing that's required there. So let's put a good balance between building and pushing. And in everything that we do, guys, just remember, it is possible. Now, I want to bring someone that simply blew my mind. This lady blew my mind. And I'm going to say things. Don't quote me, but I'm going to say things. You know, sometimes it takes just one person to transform a country. It takes one person to transform a country. And the lady that I'm going to bring here to speak to us is a lady that is currently transforming the whole of Namibia. She is doing amazing right now. Her business is growing. And above all, her business is not just growing. Her business is not just growing, but her business is growing very, very strongly. And her business is growing while she is also developing people in her team, while she's also growing people in her team. And the person that's going to come and speak to us in a very special way, she is one of the most important person to speak to us tonight about Ego Manager. You know why? Because Mariana was a supervisor around this time last year. She was a supervisor. And in May last year, she did 8 CCs, guys. 8 CCs last year. 8 CCs. And she is one of the people that smashed her total CCs in Ego Manager very, very early on. And she did, massive, crazy new CCs. And all of that started probably with her believing or not believing. I don't know if she had that Ego Manager as her goal when she was beginning, but all in all, here we have someone that can confirm to us that everything is possible if you decide to really, really go for it. So amazing people, I want you to join me. I know you're already on welcoming Mariana with a lot of fire and enthusiasm, and I truly appreciate that. So at this point, I want to bring this amazing Ego Manager qualifier, Mariana Hilarious, all the way from Namibia. She will come and share with us her story, and I'm sure her story will motivate you, it will challenge you, but it will also equip you, because she's also going to share a bit of activities on how she has actually managed to move from 8 CCs to the crazy CCs that she's doing right now. Guys, if you're ready for Mariana, let me see some massive fire there on the chat. And my leader, Mariana, the floor is yours. I am more than anxious and excited and so much waiting to hear from you. And let me say massive, massive, massive congrats for everything that you're doing. So warm, warm welcome, Mariana. If you want to share your screen, you can share your screen right now, or maybe let me stop sharing mine so that you can be able to share yours. And I've made you co-host, so feel free to do your thing right now. Are you ready for us, leader?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Good evening, family, Team Unstoppable, the achievers, everyone in the house. I'm so grateful to be the special guest. My name is Mariana Hilarious, as I was previously introduced. Is my screen visible?
It's coming up.
Okay. So thank you so much to everyone in the house. I'm so grateful. I'm really honored to be
part of. You actually shared the PowerPoint already? Because it shows like you are starting to share, but it hasn't really started to share.
It's I think it's coming up. It's just
okay. All right, no problem then. You can continue.
Low, probably with the network. So while we are waiting for the screen, can you see anything?
Not yet.
Okay, please let me know when something shows up on the screen. So thank you so much, guys. I'm so grateful. I'm so honored to be the special guest for tonight. All around the world, we are gathered here to celebrate all of us. The reason why we are here, it's what
Hey, Mariana, we have lost you.
basically I started as well. I was just a supervisor. I was very comfortable with Nope, not this one.
Perfect. The screen is coming now. Perfect.
Okay. So I'm showing this because everyone here is a torch bearer. Just know that the minute you open your mouth and share this opportunity to anyone, you are basically a torch bearer to that specific person. So right now, allow me also to introduce myself as Mariana. Mariana Hilarious, a brand new Eagle manager. Can I please see the fires in the house? So basically, this was explained how I started. It was just, I was just a supervisor when Eagle was announced, and I was basically happy with whatever I was doing, like the activities, the earning potential. There was really nothing wrong with me. So this, I had to share it because now it has been confirmed that I'm an Eagle manager. All the incentive, the first incentive from forever that I qualified. I'm sharing this because the first incentive that I qualified, it might have been a very simple incentive in the eyes of many, but for me, I embraced it. It's the trip to Dubai. My upliner put up an incentive for me to work on a certain target. And when I reached it, I went to Dubai. So I'm really, really grateful for Veronica. She really had to put that incentive and I worked for it. And I really encouraged everyone in my team. Should there be any incentive, no matter how little it might seem in the eyes of many, no matter how less important it might look to others, but just embrace because it's coming from the upliner. So because of that incentive, I was able now officially to be pronounced as an Eagle manager. I'm not just a manager, guys. Forever now, after the April month, they discovered, I mean, they put in all the CCs and all the actions. This is now a confirmation that I'm really an Eagle manager. So it's not a walk in the park, because now 2023, it's a game plan. No one is doing 2023 alone. So the question you should ask yourself is, how am I closing the year? So this is the question we should all ask ourselves. Like, this is 2023, and you cannot do 2023 alone, especially if you have goals. You cannot do 2023 alone. So you should already have an end results in mind. How are you closing the year? This is the question everyone should ask themselves. So when I started, I was having these questions. I don't have any skills. I can't talk to people. I know some who have failed. I will also fail. I don't have money to start. Let me think about it. I can't sell. I did it once and failed. Let me think about it. I do not have time. I know all about it. And on our way to being torch bearers, these are the questions that we are going to face. So you need to be stronger than your excuses. As a leader now, these are some of the things that you are going to listen or to encounter. You are going to listen to every person that you meet. These questions will turn into possibilities. What if, what if? Because if you now look at this, all these questions, they can literally hinder you from even proceeding to talk to that person. But one thing I can tell you, if you have a team right now, no matter how little or how small or how bad the situation looks, it can literally improve. So basically, you have to be the leader. Why am I saying that? Because if you're not leading by example, nothing will move. So you need to lead by example. When you say you are doing your 4CC earlier, then month end, not a leader doing the last minute completing your 4CC. So you need to show the team, how are you doing it? Because this is not magic. We all know that work needs to be put in. What work are you doing to improve or to help your team in order to see that, of course, they are basically doing something. So another thing that I also want to share, this is what I shared on my page, and someone came back to me and say, hi, Marianne, I also want to join. How does it work? Here is my number, call or text me to explain. So because I had something already planned up, so I still had to make time. Sometimes we are so focused that because I structured my day like this, I structured my day like this. So I called this lady. Now this lady, when we talk about starting a business, she told me her challenges. So I still did not give up on talking to her, on helping her to see that if she starts a business, that is another way for her to improve on her own challenges. And that is another way for her to go on and improve her lifestyle. So currently she's working on how she can get the how. She's working on the how for her to get in. So this is how I responded to her. So another thing, other activities that I also encountered, I challenged my team is to sell at least one product per day, so that in a month, we all make like 15K or more. So I sent to someone in my team, are you up for the challenge in the team? I honestly do not want to disappoint the team. I will try to get some tooth gels and restart with that. So when we look at this message, it might seem like it's not, this is the person who already gave up in the business. She already, maybe she was not even active for 2-3 months, but because I kept on insisting that the only way for you to have financial freedom, it's through moving the products. So that is how I responded to her. Yes, let's do this little by little, we'll get there, but at least make even 1,000 per week. This is now money. She has to at least sell 1,000 per week. So my goal was not already, I was not even going on about, I'm an Eagle manager, I'm an Eagle manager. These are some of the activities that are incorporated in my team, because I know once we reach out to the people and give them the health that people need. The simple tool that we used was tooth gel when we did the challenge for the tooth gel. And then I just gave these pictures that they must use these pictures all the time. And at least in a month, move 100 tooth gels. And imagine some of the people, I was telling them, imagine if the whole neighborhood can be using our tooth gel, how many people are going to come back to you? So that is just the simple way I used the other challenges that I set up for my team. So this is how my CCs were moving. I took each and every individual in my team, regardless of the level, whether directly towards me or not directly towards me, regardless of the level in my team, I speak to them like they are directly linked to me. This is now what I always say, never to give up to someone, because I also gave up on the business. I was not even interested in the first place to do business when I started with this business. All I did was just to appreciate the aloe vera gels that I took, that I was drinking because of my health challenges. So, but because someone saw the potential in me, I also would like to copy. Every time I copy and paste. So what your leaders are doing, it's basically to uplift you. Even if it is just to tell you to do 4cc. 4cc is not for your leader. And for our team, we always say 5cc. And for everyone in my team that is determined to do 5cc, they get a scrub. This is now the official uniform that we always put on. And that is a free scrub. You look very professional. Even when you are going outdoor marketing in a group, people are asking, what are you guys? Why are you look very unique when you are together? So that is how my CCs went up. And also in each and every month, I always have activities. I always use the money I earn to spend on the business. either on activities or on just something that can at least help my team. So some of the meetings I'll plan, some of the meetings I'll circulate it on the team so that they can organize, because we are not bosses for each other, we are partners. So the moment the person joins the business, they are their own boss to their business. So most of the times they tend to rely on us as leaders and do everything, but then we need to train them from the very start how they can operate their business. All we have to do is come together and see on a weekly basis, whether on a daily basis, and there's a commitment that I have with one leader that I have to call her every day. So that is a commitment she made because I'm her accountability partner. And as an accountability partner, I always have to put a reminder, because sometimes you are tired. We are all humans. We will get through the day. Sometimes you might forget, but because we have a commitment, we have to do this. So some of the things that really changed on my way to Eagle Manager is always to be focused and personal development. In the team, we were always encouraged at least read 15 to 20 minutes per day of, 10 to 15 pages a day, a new book that you are supposed to read. But then I made it a challenge for me to finish one book. I finished one book, which is How Social Media Improved my business. So 5 to 10 pages a day, and working well with your upliner. Someone who's living well, someone who is having the key to an expensive car is still in your inbox. That is another thing that struck to me, that she really wants me to do it because she's doing it. The reason why she's doing it, because she's seeing results and it's helpful. So one of the things that really helped me is the support that is endless. Leader Enos and the wife, and also Vero and the husband. So the support, we have become more than partners. Now we look up to each other like family. So you need to watch motivational videos as your personal development. Your leader will not be there to say, did you watch any motivational video for your own growth? Did you watch any positive thoughts for your own growth? But because I wanted to develop myself.
Sorry, Mariana. I just want to confirm. What we are seeing now is the end of slideshow. Is that what's supposed to be? Just checking.
Yes, the slide is ended.
Okay, great. No
Sorry.
Problem. No.
All right. Yes, I didn't prepare big slides or anything. I only prepared maybe 4 pictures. So you need to take a team responsibility. As long as you are bringing a person, introducing, even if you have one person in your team, you are introducing a new person in the team. That person should also be your responsibility. That person's introduction, growth, you should not wait until the meeting. They are starting a meeting in the group, and then you are just asking for the link. Can we have the link for this week's meeting? When are you going to show that this week is you who is training? I have just dropped the link for tomorrow's meeting. Here is the link, leaders. Tomorrow we are having a training. So take team responsibility, be the team player. People want you to play to play your game. And when you are playing that game, you should be always the winner. They should always see you winning. And when you are winning, you should also not look down on the others or the rest. So this is just to say that learn from social media and follow the ones that are giving you more insight. Follow the leaders or anyone in the group that you feel you can work with. When we were in the managers convention, we were only 2. So we gave the word to the group that next time we are coming, we are not coming 2 from Team Unstoppable. So what are we doing? Most of the times we are texting even people that are not directly in us. So because we want the whole team Unstoppable to win, that's why you basically see there's a message from me asking you, how are you progressing? Do you have activities or any plans or whatever goals that you have for this month and so forth? Because we want to see how many people are we taking with. Since we said we are taking 20 people, so we need to disturb everyone. So basically what I'm saying is we are all learning, including myself. I'm still learning. Most of the times I was just asking what is the next step, and I failed many times. There were 3-4 occasions that I tried for the Kaplan. I failed. So I sat with my team, and you can learn anything from anyone. So recently we had a meeting, we sat and we had a different plan or a different approach. So unless you go hard on something that you really badly want, and with the plan that they gave me, and it's the road that I'm going to try and see if it's going to work, and we will share. So see everyone in your team as a winner. Because now if you look down on them, even if they are not doing 4CC, you are not encouraging them. Text everyone, maybe communicate with them, see how they are doing their business, because most of the people, especially when they come in, they don't really understand. Sometimes you can explain the same thing, they still ask the same thing 3 months, 4 months after. So if they try to be in meetings every time, you guide them. Were you in the meeting? Were you in the meeting? What did you learn? Is the people that we can always follow up. So because you are the torch bearer, what are you doing? Apart from that once-off bonus that you get, Forever still wants you to take care of that person until they reach their optimum level, like the manager level. You have not done it if you brought a person in the team and you did not take them until the last stage, because then they are on their own at manager. So I think with that, I just want to encourage also everyone in here. I think we are 237. Please, guys, make sure you are getting your productivity manual. This book, it's helping myself. It's helping me to look at network marketing like really it's a job and it's hard work. I spent 2 days not doing anything because I didn't know that you are supposed to do that. Although I received my book, I was just going through and through, but I did not even do anything. I was very much behind for 2 days. Why am I sharing this? Because once you are having this book, it's guiding you, it's giving you the right thing that you need. As long as you have an FBO number, you are a manager to your own business. Your upliner is there to give you guidance. He's not going to run your business. Your upliner is there to give you guidance on how you are going to achieve the goals. So your upliner is also not going to remind you now and then, bring your volume mapping. Let's see your volume mapping. It should be your responsibility. The reason why you are here, it's because you want to win. Disturb her. Why should she be the one disturbing her? I mean, you. Why should she be the one disturbing you all the time? Where is your volume mapping? How are you planning this month? It should be your responsibility to make a plan for the week. Give her the plan on how you are planning your week, the second week, the third week, and the last week. So including your end results in mind. So guys, without saying a lot of things, I think we have had all the motivations in the world. If you are 2-3 months, or even if it's your first time attending this meeting, most of the motivations, we will hear them, but it only takes yourself to work. If you are not convincing yourself, or if there's nothing that is making you work, there's no push, you will not be a torch bearer. You are also not going to be in that cruise ship. Thank you.
So much, Mariana. Thank you so much. And I love the fact that you reminded all of us that we are torch bearers and we are here not just for ourselves, but for so many other people. And you know what, Mariana? I love the way you spoke from your heart and very humbly, very calmly. And to me, that is quite encouraging. And I believe everybody that was listening to you here feels the same way, feels that if Mariana can do it, then we can do it. But there's one key thing that you mentioned, that one of the key things that you mentioned, but I just wanna, kind of point them out, kind of bring them, on the surface, if anybody missed them, is your work ethic. Your work ethic. And the way that you are working on your own, the way you are pushing yourself, the way you're working with your business, on your team, and the way you are even disturbing your upline. And that means you took full charge of your business. Now, my fellow leaders here, I know we're gonna do our best to make sure that we have as much as possible with everybody getting refocused, reminding each other not to give up, but I know for us to smash this incentive deep down, it has to start from us making the decision. So once again, guys, can you join me in giving a seriously big round of applause to Mariana? And, you might have missed out a little bit on what she actually achieved and how she has managed to smash Ego Manager with flying colors. I mean, that shows she wasn't even kind of trying it out. She didn't even just imagine, she did 900, just in case you missed them, 945 CCs. Ego requires 720. Guys, this is someone that was a supervisor when the incentive was beginning, and she ended at 945. I mean, look at those new CCs. I know Mariana is not the bragging type, so let me brag on her behalf. I mean, this is amazing. 381. That's almost half the requirement of Ego Manager. She brought it from our new business. Now, I want you to pay attention to those figures because there are clues there. Are you noticing the clue there? Are you noticing the clue? The major growth that she has had is because she had over 381 new CCs. And she moved her CCs from 25, our first month in Ego, to 50, to 113. Can you imagine that? And then to 120 something. Can you imagine that? You know what brought all that growth is the number of new people that were joining herself together with her team. So what is one key takeaway from there? Number one, everything is possible. Let's take, full responsibility of the Ego Manager, and let us go crazy on building a new business. Let us go crazy on doing whatever it takes to make sure that everything happens. And she mentioned about the productivity manual. This is a manual that you can use to track your activities. And I know it's right now available in Tanzania. This is not a forever management or a forever corporate tool. No, it's a tool which was made by leaders, by FBOs. And that means it's something very practical. And I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to try and do this productivity manual. It's going to really bring the best out of you. It's really going to push you into doing massive activities. And if you want to get them, get in touch with Vero, because I know she spearheaded the creating of this for all of us. And I know her team is called Unstoppable. You might think, does it mean this is for our team? No. This is about you becoming unstoppable. This is about you not being stopped by anything. So go for this, guys. Try it out. If you love it, take it to your team. I'm sure it's going to help each and everyone here. So back to Ego Manager, guys. And I'm not sure if we've given enough appreciation to Mariana on amazing results that she has had. I mean, I look at her performance and I'm saying, wow, that is like the kind of performance that we normally get wowed at when we are at a rally and someone goes on stage and shows how their business is skyrocketed. And if it's possible for her, it's possible for all of us right here in Africa. And she's in Namibia, for God's sake. She's not even in South Africa. You know, she is in Namibia. That means a country economically is more or less like the country that we are all in right now. So amazing people. I know everything is possible and I know we can do it. And without a doubt, guys, we don't want anybody missing out on the boat. You don't want to be the person watching our reels and liking our photos while we are having an amazing time on the cruise ship. You don't want to miss that fun. You don't want to miss the opportunity to be taken around to cities that have never even been heard of. I mean, for the first time, you're going to be going to cities that you've never even heard about. I'm sure of that. You don't want to miss the EMR24. And looking at the fun that we're going to have there, looking at the impact that will come from that, it is simply amazing, my leader. So over 248 of us on this meeting right now. I really, really want to encourage you and I want to push you and I want to challenge you that you can actually do this. Maybe you did 8 CCs last month as well, like Mariana. Maybe right now your business is like low. Do not give up because you can do it. Now I want to brush you through, the Ego Manager qualifications. I'm just going to brush you through them. I mean, if you are unclear, get in touch with your upline. We'll get you cleared out on that. So the incentive has officially begun as of 1st May, all the way to 30th of April. And as you know, you don't want to miss on the base qualifications. And that's number 1, be active. Don't miss on your 4 CCs. Number 2, you must be leadership bonus qualified. Now, let me underline this. You must be leadership bonus qualified, even if you don't have a manager under you. Most of the times when we don't have managers under us, we feel we don't need to do the 12 CCs. No, you need to be leadership bonus qualified, even if you don't have a manager under you. So be sure to check those 12 CCs. Please don't go below 12 CCs. We don't want to have troubles of explaining to you at the end of the incentive on how you missed the bot just because you didn't do 12 on your first month. And then, of course, you need to make sure you smash those 720 CCs. And out of those, at least 100 will be new. Now, my idea to each and every one of you is start working on your new CCs very early on. And if right now your total CCs are very low, then remember Mariana's success. She started with very low total CCs. So the only way she could grow is by bringing a massive new business. So don't go squeezing your old team. Don't go over pushing your old team. Don't go sucking, the last drop of blood from your old team. No, bring in some new blood in your business, recruit some new people massively. And again, you have to analyze your own business. We don't know where you are right now. We don't know what's your major challenge. For some of you, you don't even need to worry about total CCs. I mean, they just come. Maybe for some of you, you need to worry about who in your team is going to qualify so that you can be able to be on the rock the boat. So look at those. Now, these 2 babies here, 2 new supervisors, are normally a challenge for most people. I cannot tell you how many managers miss to qualify Ego because they failed to create the 2 supervisors. So please work on these 2 supervisors early on. And I wanna who was that? It was Emma Cooper, one of the top FBOs in the UK. And she said, when Ego starts, she challenges herself to actually recruit 20 people. Now, I know that number scares like most of you. And most of you are like, okay, no, that's not my game. 20 is too many. But let me tell you the numbers. She sponsors 20 people because she knows out of every 10 people that she sponsors, at least 1. No, she sponsors 10 people. Out of every 5 people she sponsors, at least 1 will get to supervisor. Out of every 5 assistant supervisors, at least 1 will get to supervisor. What does that mean? The number 5, 10, how many people you're sponsoring is important, but not the most important. The most important thing is for you to understand that in order for you to have a good start of your ego manager, you need to be extremely focused on recruiting new people so that you can be able to develop these 2 new supervisors. Now, these two new supervisors, they always seem to be simple and easy, but they're always the ones that challenges people the most. So do not take them for granted, guys. And I always tell people, ego is like ego. It doesn't like to be taken lightly, this incentive. It doesn't like to be taken, it doesn't like to be taken as if you own it. Like, you know, I'm an ego, so I will always be an ego. It doesn't like that way. You know, ego likes its respect. Ego likes to focus on it. And sometimes we get to focus on so many things and we forget the most important things. My advice to each and everyone here, whether you're going for chairman's bonus, you're going for global rally, you are going for any crazy big goal, make sure one of your goal is ego manager, because ego manager will give you a ripple growth in your business. So go for it, guys. And as you know, if you are a manager, if you are above manager from seniors and above, you need to have ego managers in your team in order for you to qualify. And last year Forever made it a little bit easy because they wanted to bring as many people as possible to Pattaya, and they gave an offer of anybody in the marketing plan who is above senior manager can qualify with just one new ego manager. But I want to remind you that was for last year. So if you are soaring manager and above, just know you need those 3 legs from this year, all right? You need those 3 legs. So let's go for it, guys. And one tip that I can tell you, if you want to smash this, if you are senior and above, my advice to you is work on your qualification very, very early. Get done with it early. You know, you don't want to reach much next year and you're struggling with your qualification and you have to help someone in your team also qualify. You don't want that. You know, it's better you get yours done. You know, finish your stuff by December so that you use January, February, March, April to work with the people in your team that need your help so that they can be able to achieve their ego as well. But if yours is not done, I can assure you, you're not going to be able to focus on anybody else because you'll be under tension yourself. So my advice to the seniors and above, get yours done as quickly as possible. And I want at this point to bring the audience, because on this meeting here, 200 plus people, we have people that have qualified for ego. We have people that have not qualified for ego, but they have an experience of working towards ego. We have people that have failed to qualify for ego and they've learned some lessons. And let me tell you something, leaders. Sometimes you have to fail 5 times until when you really get it. And sometimes you have to miss it 5 times, not because you are lazy, not because you are not working hard enough. No, maybe you missed out on a few important areas that you wanted to focus on. And we have an opportunity right now to help each other, guys. And I thought if we can bring our minds together and if we can be very open and kind of share some of our lessons, kind of share some of the things that you feel you learned either from the last ego manager incentive or any ego manager incentive that you feel will add value to other people. I want to invite you right now. You can ask me to unmute you. You can raise your hand and I'll unmute you, but I will be so, so grateful if I can get some of you to raise your hands, to open up, you know, so that you can give us also what do you feel people should not miss out in order for them to achieve this important incentive. And we have the first one that has asked to speak, Mr. Andrea, all the way from Tanzania. And I'm going to unmute you, my brother, and you can briefly share with us any lesson, anything that is of value that you know will help us. You're welcome, brother.
Thank you, leader, and thank you for a very good training, and for our guest speaker as well. I've learned quite a lot. Am I audible, please? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so
just before you start, I've put the background music. If the background music is too distracting, please put it on the chat so that I can find a way to take it out.
All right. Can I go ahead, please? Can I go ahead?
Continue.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I have come to learn something that I guess might be helpful for every one of us. So recently I came across something called project management. And I have realized that the Ego Manager and all the other incentives, these are typically projects within Forever. These are technically they are projects. And if you want to deal with a project, then you have to understand how you can deal with a project. Because for most of us, I should say, we deal with incentives by the way, just by doing all the normal activities, just going on with life as usual. But I've come to realize this is a project, Ego in particular, it's a very serious project that needs skills on project management. So for example, any project has a life cycle. There is the initiation of a project, that is usually the exciting part. And then there is the planning part of the project. And then there is the execution part. And then there is the monitoring and control. And then there is project closure. Now, all those steps are technical terms. And the understanding, albeit in simple ways, if we can have some trainings that can help us to understand on all these major steps or phases of a project and apply them as simply as we can to the Ego Manager incentive, I believe that will be very helpful. Yesterday, I was thinking about football coaches. You find that there is a football team that has very good players. There is usually the A team and there is usually the reserve team. Sometimes you find that some players are not played until the last minute, until the end. They are called super subs. But some of them are not played during the league until close to the end of the league. So I think it's also important to note that in our teams, there are people, if you start working with them now, for instance, they do not have the muscle, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I should say, they do not have the muscle to work as hard from the beginning to the end, which means we need to identify what people we can work with as hard as possible from the beginning. And when they're tired, who is going to replace them? Because otherwise, that's what brings frustrations. So I wanted to highlight on those things. Let me leave the floor for other people. But to just recap it, this is a project like any other project. Actually, this is a very serious project than most projects from different companies or different industries. A very serious project. We need to learn on how to manage this project. And also we need to learn on how to prepare our teams so that we know who we are going to work with from now to when, and who is going to take over when the other people are tired in the team. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Andrea. I truly appreciate that. And thank you for those good reminders. You know, for me, my take there is that this is a serious project and we need to work on it and focus on it and make sure that we are actually tracking it. Yeah, so I want to invite the next person to share with us some of the wisdom that they've had when it comes to working for the Ego Manager. And this can be, you don't have to be an Ego Manager qualifier, by the way. to be able to give your experience on when it comes to working for Ego Manager. So let me welcome the next person. Let me welcome the next person. Who will be next? Waiting for the next person to raise their hand so that we can invite you to share with us what you feel. What do you feel we can add? You know, I believe we have an ocean of knowledge and experiences. And if we can tap into that, I am pretty sure each and every one here will live with something extra that they can work on, and it can help them achieve the Ego Manager incentive, because it is without a doubt our most important incentive right now. All right. So who is next?
The pain, Father, stones in the rain. We walked that road, we felt that fear.
And you know, one thing that I can add here as we wait for any other speaker that will be willing to speak is when it comes to working on Ego Manager, one of the mistakes that I feel most of us make is we become a little bit, I can say, overconfident. We're overconfident and we believe we're going to smash it, which is very important and very good. But I say we become overconfident because we kind of ignore the warning signs. So if I'm to give a huge advice, and I feel that is one of the things that is normally missed out, is don't be overconfident. Don't be too positive in believing that things will come up. No, you have to be very mindful of the fact that every month that passes is supposed to help you take steps towards Ego Manager and not to take you backwards. It has to help you go towards Ego Manager. And you should create a plan that you can actually focus on yourself so that you can be able to actually make sure that each and every month, you're working towards that. And for those that have got teams, if you know you've got a team, and maybe you haven't really been working very closely with your team, but now you want to take it a step up, my advice to you is get in touch with your team and don't do a group meeting or anything like that. Go call them one after another, or send a message to each and every one that you feel maybe you can work with them, and try to get in touch with them so that you can see who is ready for a new commitment right now, who is ready to take it up, who is ready to push on their business now. You know, go one person after another. It might be tedious. You might need to take a full week if you have a big team for you to really go inbox on everyone, but you'd rather do that than just sending a general message. No, go inbox. And then when you identify those people that are now willing to work extra, when you identify those people that are now willing to push a little bit harder, then put 80% of your focus on them. 80% of your focus, 80% needs to go to the people that are actually working, and 20% to the people that are not really working, but you still need them. So you still put an effort on them to make sure that you maximize on what they can do right now. But also, you know, people change from time to time. So it's not wise to completely forget them. And that way you will not be kind of misusing your potential. You'll not be taking your time and your effort to the wrong people, because that can be draining, but I'm not so worried about that draining you, because if you have got goals, nothing can really drain you. But the challenge is you will be not maximizing on your time and on your effort. So check your team. And after you check your team, most definitely, you will confirm that you need to recruit. And when it comes to recruiting leaders, it has nothing to do with anybody else out there. It's all up to me. And you need to challenge yourself as a manager, because as managers, one of our biggest challenges is to recruit, because we are so caught up with supporting the team. We are extremely caught up with motivating the team, and we forget doing the real work. Let's just get into the real work mode. Let us be the ones that are leading by example. Let us be the most hardworking people in our teams. And I'm 100% sure if we can put in the effort, if we can put in the focus into the activities that we know will help us recruit new people, eventually everyone is going to see a growth in their business. Now, as I'm about to close this meeting, I want to put a challenge to each and everyone here. And this is a challenge that I know for some of you is like, and Oscar, this is not even a challenge. This is something that I'm going to smash, without even thinking. But I'm trying to imagine if each and every one of us here focuses on recruiting 6 assistant supervisors by July. That means we've got May, we've got June, we've got July. And you know what? That is just 2 assistant supervisors per month. It's just 2 assistant supervisors per month. And if we can get if you can get to recruit 2 assistant supervisors per month, and that means we've got your 6. We've got your 6. Did someone raise their hand? I think someone did. I'm not so sure. Okay. So you can get your 6 assistant supervisors by the end of July. Most likely out of those, you will get 1 supervisor out of those. If you can do that, most likely out of those, you'll get 1 supervisor. And if you can do the same thing, from again, August, September, October, you do yourself the same challenge. You give yourself the same challenge, most likely you will get both of your supervisors done by December. And when you get your supervisors done by December, it takes a big load off your mind. But also for those that are trying to, where you need to raise your CCs, your total CCs is now low. You don't need to create 2 supervisors in April. You're not going to make it. You need to create those 2 supervisors very, very early. And that way, it will enable you to have a massive new business. So let's go for this challenge, guys. Now, when you see a challenge like this, a lot of things can go in your mind. You can feel like, oh, this is definitely, I'm going to smash it. It's obvious. And some of you might feel like, no, there's no way I can do it. I don't believe I can be able to achieve it. Well, let me tell you, let me remind you, and let me encourage you. It does not matter what you believe. The most important thing is for you to pick up the phone and make the calls. It's for you to pick up the phone and send in the messages to the people that you're prospecting. It does not matter what you believe. The most important thing is what you will do. That is what will bring in the results. And you know what? When you get these brand new assistant supervisors, you will be on fire. And then what will happen? Even your old team will catch that fire and will catch that excitement, and that will kind of push them. That will push them as well. And eventually you'll start to see growth happening throughout your team and throughout your business. So as we are approaching this Ego Manager, my challenge to each and every one here is to take things like a little bit, take them. What I'm trying to say here is don't be over, don't have your head so much on the cloud, like I'm going to be there, I'm going to be on the board, and you're forgetting to watch your feet. Watch your feet, amazing people. Watch what's happening from now, because the challenge has begun. Ego Managers has officially begun, amazing people. And it is what you will do. It is what you will do from now up until April next year that will determine where you're going to be on your business. It is what you do now. I see two people have raised their hand here, but for some reason, I'm not able to spot who exactly are they. All right, actually, three people I'm seeing. Are you trying to speak, guys? I don't want to deny you a chance of speaking before I close the meeting. Okay, the guys that have raised your hand, do me a favor. I'm lowering your hand. Can you please just send a message if you want to speak so that I can allow you to speak before we completely, okay, fine. I see, oh my God, can you believe my wife was one of them? I wonder what could have happened to me today if I didn't see that. So I'm gonna bring on board now an amazing leader, a diamond sapphire. And when we were working on our ego manager last year, which we smashed, Soaring Ego Manager, and we have a goal for Sapphire Ego Manager. And the reason why we are saying this goal is so that you hold us accountable and we hold ourselves accountable to making sure that we are achieving it. And I can tell you, one of the most important things that I have learned from Elizabeth, who is my wife and a diamond sapphire that I'm going to invite right now to speak to us, I'm going to unmute you, baby, is how important it is to maximize on every month. She's very, very good on that. So welcome, Diamond Sapphire Elizabeth. Super ready.
Thank you so much, Diamond Sapphire. Thank you for an amazing training. Thank you so much, Mariana, and massive congratulations for such an amazing closing of the Ego Manager. Thank you, Andrea, also for sharing what you shared. And I just felt like I needed to add this on the things and the tips and the things that I've learned from my own personal experience on things that can help you smash ego. Now, it's so easy to be caught up in the hype that I'm going to be an ego. Everyone is going for this ego. And you can include yourself easily in the everyone circle and forget about the simple things that you need to do yourself to make it happen for yourself. Because at the end of the day, this year is personal, like Veronica has said. Your business is personal. You are the first most important person who is going to be affected with whatever results that you are going for in your business. So we hear all the time, we need dream board. We need to set reminders for what we are thinking about. Let me just remind you again. For your ego manager, make sure you don't miss the opportunity to have multiple reminders for yourself. Why? You don't want the outside hype to be more than the inside conviction that you have to get that done. Sometimes you'll be caught up with everybody's hype about ego, and you won't have that voice deep inside of you when you're sleeping, when you're waking up in the morning, that is forcing you to do the work. And it will remind you for those times when you're feeling tired, when you're feeling like giving up. That hype, that outside voice will be so dim, you won't even remember that people are going for ego. So make that voice inside you deeper, stronger, louder than anything else. And one way to do that is to make sure you have multiple reminders around you. Don't ignore dream boards. Don't ignore writing around your house, different places in your phone and different areas, what you are going for. And do that intentionally. You're not just doing it for the hype, but you're doing it because you really want it and you really want to go for it. And like our leader, who is that, Philip Rita, likes to say, you're not there to try to do it. You have committed yourself. It all starts with that commitment. Now, to cement that commitment, we all need those daily reminders. We all need those frequent reminders, because this meeting will not be there 3 months from now when you're struggling to sponsor 2 people in a month. So you will need those things behind the scenes that will make the difference between someone who will continue to be fighting 5 months from now and someone who will give up from the first month that they didn't do 30 cc's and then they give up with the whole ego thing. So let me just remind you of that and encourage you, like everyone has said, we all can do it. We have been able to do it multiple times. We have been able to fail as well. So we know how both sides of the equation feel. And we know the things that you can do to help you get on the winning side. So let's start from the very beginning. Let's be on the gear. Let's do everything we can to make our minds focused on what it is that we want to do. And for sure, with God's help, we will definitely smash this incentive. Thank you so much, and I wish you success. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And wow, you know, you have said it perfectly. And the way I even had to type it there, you don't want the outside hype to be bigger than the inside conviction. Thank you so much for that. And if everyone here can just take that statement and go home with it and leave it, we are going to smash this ego manager, guys. We are going to nail it. Because yes, that's a fact. Sometimes we talk about it so much. We speak about how excited we are about it. But deep down, when we are sleeping at night on our beds on our own, we don't have that burn inside of us. When we are taking showers and we are all on our own, we don't have that burn inside of us that this has to happen. And I feel with the ego manager, guys, you gotta say this has to happen. You know, it has to be more than jumping up and down on top of tables and all of that. No, you need the kind of motivation that is deep down, flowing through your blood veins. You know that feeling you get when you feel like you have electricity throughout your body. That's what you need, leaders. So thank you so much, Dr. Elizabeth, for putting it perfectly on what is it that we need to do to make sure that we smash this ego manager, guys. This is a major project. This is something that we're gonna work on. And let us not ignore the few small, simple incentives. Mariana mentioned about how she was going after every incentive and every challenge. And now we have a challenge for us as managers to recruit assistants, 6 assistant supervisors by the end of July. And I know it is possible for everyone, but it's not gonna be easy. But if you put your mind to it, you will definitely smash it. So amazing people, let me officially say the work towards Ego Manager 2024, the work that will earn you a ticket to rock the boat in 2024, the work that will get you the biggest recognition in your countries, the work that will put you a name on the map of the Forever Global has officially begun. The incentive has begun, and so as the work towards it has begun, guys. And if you have been a little bit slow the first week of the May, then get yourself up. You know, you should feel like you have got pins, you know, on your behind so that you don't relax, you don't settle. You know, if you are not uncomfortable, then most likely you're not growing. If you're not going for challenges, most likely you're not growing, guys. The work has officially begun. Let's go smash this incentive, guys. And I want to top it off with one major thing, guys, as we are working towards this incentive. Do not forget to pray for it. Pray for your business, pray for your activities, pray your uplines, pray for your prospects, pray for every plan that you have, because you know, if you are working towards it and you're putting yourself into it, fully into it, and you have got God's blessings, I mean, what the hell can stop you? Nothing can stop you, guys. Let's go make it happen, guys, together. Let's hold our hands, all of us together. If we were together in a meeting right now, I would say, let us all stand up. Let us all hold each other's hands and let us walk together. Let us march together step by step until April of 2024. And we are going to rest not in our country. We're not going to rest in Namibia. We are not going to rest in Tanzania. We are not going to rest in Kenya. We're not going to rest in Uganda. Definitely not resting in Nigeria. Not resting in South Africa. We are going to rest at only one place, on that amazing boat, on that cruise. That's where we're going to rest. All the best, amazing leaders. And I wish you nothing but the best. Let's just go smash this STEM incentive, guys. Let's go make it happen. Thank you so much, and all the best, amazing people. And see you not at the top. See you on that cruise ship, man. See you there, man. Bye-bye, amazing people. All the best.